Today we're going to go over market structure, how the price action panned out today, and what opportunities arose for the day. We started the day off with a downtrend, with a break here, a break a new high, and a new extreme here. So after we saw this new extreme here, I was patiently waiting. This is area of development, waiting for the next market cycle to develop. I was looking for a lower high in this area, but it didn't form. Prices just dropped straight down to the new extreme. So let's see what happens here next. Prices push lower. We push lower again. So this is already giving bearish signs that there could potentially be some wider channel being developed. At the time, I wasn't playing this downtrend just yet. I was more so waiting for price action to develop more to see if the downtrend was in fact going to be our new market cycle, or if we were going to get some sort of reversal. So we're pushing lower here, pushing lower. And then when we push lower again, I was like, okay, it's clear. We have to adapt to a downtrend. So this is the downtrend that I was playing. We have this little spike in a channel pattern here. So at this point, I'm just looking for a second entry short at the EMA. We had a small congestion here, but then prices broke lower. And we can see another congestion here. So I was looking for some sort of second entry short fell breakout, but we didn't get one here. Let's see what happens here. We have some small short-term trend working higher. We can see the top side of the channel here ended up holding and prices pushed below the EMA. So at this point, I was looking for some lower high, which was also a second entry short from the bottom. If we count here from the lowest low, you see a first entry short. So if we get some lower high here, it'd also be a second entry short. And sure enough, we do. We get a nice lower high here. I actually took this setup live, expecting to push down. This trend, this spike in the channel was quite strong in itself. So I was really expecting prices to push lower. We get a nice signal bar here. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this trade. And we in fact pushed lower here. We kept pushing lower and kept pushing lower. So the trend is even more so getting confirmed. So at this point, I'm still looking for a second entry short at the EMA. See if we can get some type of second entry short. We get a first entry short here and a second entry short here. But you can see it's an inside bar, and there could be some sort of like small short-term uptrend in play. So this is a setup that I'd like to be patient on. But if you took it here, I could see why it is a second entry short with the trend. But there's just a few things that kept me out of it. The prices push lower here and push lower again. So once again, I'm just still looking for that second entry short at the EMA. Prices continue to push lower. We had a nice trend working lower here. We continue to push lower, so it was a good downtrend that was developed. And once again, I'm just looking for that second entry short at the EMA. So we have a nice little short-term uptrend working higher here. We have a first entry short, and we have an STS short-term uptrend in play at the moment. We'll zoom in a little bit so we can see this a little better. So we have this short-term uptrend in play. Prices broke lower and we get a lower high. I didn't really like this lower high when I was watching this live because I can see that it didn't quite break under the EMA. You can see the EMA is like right in between these, in between the bars here. So I really wanted to see prices push below EMA and then give the lower high. So I was patient on this setup. I was more so looking for the failed second entry long below the EMA. Then when I saw this congestion here, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe we can get the lower high breakout pullback where prices break lower, come back and test the support of this small congestion and give us the lower high to continue working lower. But then when we start pushing up like this, I'm like, okay, prices want to test the new high of this short-term uptrend before working lower. So I was just patient, letting the short-term uptrend play out, and then looking for the failed second entry long below the EMA. So here we do get the new high. The short-term uptrend played out. So I'm just patiently waiting for that push below the EMA to continue the bearish bias and test the new low of this downtrend here. And sure enough, we get the push below the EMA and a nice lower high. I like this because you got the first leg here and the second leg here, a clear two-legged pullback. Prices push below the EMA and create the lower high. This is another good setup to mark. It feels a little bit more aggressive because there isn't a bullish bar in between. It feels quite steep, but when you got these two clear legs like this, you know the bullish bias is depleted, and this push below the EMA is confirming, okay, prices most likely want to test the new extreme here. And sure enough, prices push lower. I was looking to see if we get the failed second entry long, but prices just pushed lower on the lower high here, and a new extreme was formed. So now I'm just sitting on my hands here. I'm waiting to see what the next market structure or market cycle is going to be. We have the new low. So are we in fact going to reverse? Are we going to transform into a trading range? Or since this was quite a nice downtrend, are we going to get some continuation here? So price is just kind of working sideways, and we broke lower here. Then we have a push above the EMA, and we have a short-term uptrend in play. I'm not really thinking second entry long here because we pushed so far low. I mean, this downtrend was quite significant. So a second entry long here just wouldn't be enough for me. I would need to see some stronger uptrend to trust the second entry long. So I'm just patiently waiting at this moment, just seeing what the next market cycle is going to be. We do get a new high of the uptrend here, and then a push below the EMA. So failed second entry long would be decent for continuation, but we need to see it form nicely below the EMA. We do have a first entry long pullback. Can we get the second entry long failure? We do have the second entry long failure, but it's a little bit too far from the EMA for my liking. I like to see this form closer to the EMA. You can see there's a gap between the body and the EMA. So it's a little bit too far from the EMA for my liking, but it is in fact a first entry long, second entry long failure here. Prices push lower, and we're back above the EMA. So at this point, I'm just sitting on my hands. I'm waiting, seeing what the next market cycle is going to be, given that we have this pushback above the EMA. So we're working higher here. It's like a first entry long. We continue to work higher, break another high, and we continue to work higher. So I'm drawing this uptrend here, and when we continue to work higher again, okay, now we're transforming into some bullish pattern here. So I'm looking for the second entry long at the EMA. You can tell we're getting a little bit quite late in the day. But given this reversal here into this uptrend, a second entry long would be decent if it forms nicely. And we have some sort of an overshoot here. A strong push here with a short-term trend. We get a break and a new extreme, and you can see that nice two-legged pullback here. And this is good. This is what we like to see. This is showing that the bears could potentially be depleted. So if we get that nice failed second entry long above the EMA, it'd be a decent setup to test the new extreme. But you can see we're already late in the day. But a nice failed second entry short above the EMA would be a great setup to test the new extreme of this channel here. And yeah, guys, that's the day. That's how the day panned out. I like this lower high. I took this one myself. There's another decent lower high to test the new extreme. But we started off with a downtrend break and a new low that led into a spike in a channel pattern, a pretty significant downtrend. Two legs up, break, new extreme. This was more so just an area of development, waiting to see what the next market cycle was going to be, and it led into a nice uptrend with an overshoot, two legs down, and now I expect a failed second entry short above the EMA to test the new extreme here. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If this video was helpful for you guys, hit that like button. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I have a trading community where I post daily charts in real time with other like-minded traders. So if that's something that you guys be interested, feel free to hit the link in the description below. And yeah, you guys have a good evening. Thank you.